Welcome, everyone, to the North Shore 9 postgame show powered by Primanti Bros. I'm Neil. I'm here with Doug. Doug, it's Groundhog Day, baby. It's another Pirates loss, and it's the exact same thing again. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. And the rare occasions that the Pirates win, they follow a similar script, right? They
Yeah.
get good pitching, good starting, good bullpen, and scratch out a few runs. And the frequent times that they lose, it's like you said, it's Groundhog Day. There's nothing new to add. Thank you very much, chat. We will be come see us Saturday at the tailgate.
Yeah, that's it. Like, what do you, it's the exact same thing. No offense, wasted another good start, and bad bullpen once again from the guys who were supposed to be the best ones. But before we get into all that, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs. And BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, I guess we kind of have to start at the beginning, where we always do, because the Pirates' offense once again doesn't show up, and we are still in historic territory, Doug. 24 straight games without 5 or more runs. We score 1 tonight. 5 teams have done this in the live ball era.
That's 1900, right? The live ball era started. It started with not 1969 when they raised the mound or whatever. That was 1900. That was 125 years ago. Right?
Yeah, like the Pirates haven't been this offensively bad since 1908. I want to say it's either 1908 or 1906. So we were talking 99, 97 years. It's so bad, and it keeps continuing.
Yeah. I wonder how many of those teams were in the 6th year. And you shouldn't be able to call it the 6th year of a rebuild. A rebuild should be over, but no more than year 4, year 5 at the latest, right? I mean, by year 4, you should have your team in place, and then it's like, okay, year 5, now we're going to add, the high price veteran or something along those lines. Get those last 2 pieces of the puzzle, something along those lines. I mean, this is not a rebuild. This is a stay in quicksand thing. This team has not shown any improvement at any time. So yeah, I mean, again, I would, if you go back and look at those teams, I doubt if it was their 6th year in a row of terrible baseball.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the annoying thing is that the Pirates got runners on, and I think this has been a common theme throughout this recent really bad stretch is that the Pirates managed to get guys on. So they get 5 runners off of Lodolo. They get 1 run off of him too, to be fair, but they don't come through in any situation really outside of Bart's RBI double in the first, which was very nice. Very nice piece of hitting from Bart. This team cannot situationally hit. And I knew the game was over. I'm trying to think of the inning, but we had a Canario leadoff double.
Yep.
And we don't even advance him past second base, I'm pretty sure. You can tell me I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive they did not. Nope, he does not advance past second base. After Canario's double in the 4th, Solak grounds out, doesn't advance the runner. Tommy Pham strikes out swinging, surprise, surprise. IKF gets hit by a pitch, and then Jared Triolo strikes out swinging.
Well,
we can't get out of our own way.
Right. I mean, again, you just listed off, at least 3 of the names that can't hit. And then those guys are followed by Hayes and McCutcheon, who went a combined 0 for 8. We don't. You're right. We get few hits. We get a lot of infield. That's the problem, is that we get a lot of infield singles. It's going to take 4 infield singles for us to score a run, and we can't get 4 guys in a row to get a hit. So, yeah, I mean, it's we've discussed this ad nauseum. We've beat this dead horse. We have too many guys, and now, right. It's proven, right? I mean, Tommy Pham has proven over the past, I think it's been since 2019. It's like 6 years of not hitting.
Yeah.
Triolo's gotten his chances. I love Triolo. I wish he could hit. He can't hit. IKF has been hitting okay, but yeah, I mean, it's dreadful. Pham. I mean, Solak. He's a career minor leaguer. He was killing it down at AAA. We thought maybe we could get a little Nagowski, magic or something along those lines, but so far he hasn't been able to.
No, he's a 30-year-old in AAA. Like,
someone told me.
I know, Jim. Maybe you're biting the Jim propaganda here, but like, because he's a.
No, I'm just.
But like, man, like, what are we expecting?
I'd rather see anybody play than Tommy Pham at this point, right? So if somebody's hitting well at AAA, bring them up, give them a chance. That's all. And I don't want to make Tommy Pham the villain. Tommy Pham, they offered him a contract and he took it. I don't blame him. He can't hit. He's done. Triolo can't hit. He never was able to, except for, a brief stint in every September. Solak can't hit. It was not his fault. Again, it comes squarely back to Ben Cherington. It's stunning to me that he has his job. I mean, these guys, someone told me that I was making Adam Frazier a villain and that he's got a .5 WAR. Adam Frazier's not the villain. If Adam Frazier is the 25th, 26th man on a good team, I'm appreciating what he's providing. However, he's the 4th best player on the team, and that's a problem. That's a problem. And this is a lost season. I'm looking for answers to questions at this point. I don't need to see, Adam Frazier play anymore. Just bring up all the kids, or make the trades. I don't want Ben Cherington making trades, actually, but yeah. Well, I know I'm going off track here, but we can't.
I echo the sentiment. I echo your sentiment in the sense that in previous years, I've been mad at players. I think I was pretty on record on air being mad at players. I don't think I'm mad at a single player this year. Like, I'm not mad at Pham. I'm not mad at Frazier. I'm not even mad at Holderman, to be honest. Like, even though he's probably the one that should get the most ire, I can't be bothered because they're just being paid to be here and they're trying their best. But like, it's not their fault that they're not good enough. You can't
refuse, right? I mean, these guys are fighting for their major league life. Right? They should go. I imagine they're putting in the work. I imagine they're doing the best that they can. But they're, again, it's a popular theme when I'm on the show is that, we're putting people in position to fail. Holderman should be at AAA. If you have any belief left in Holderman, he does have stuff. He's had great stretches in the MLB. Send him down to AAA and let him get it straightened out. But he shouldn't be working it out here in the 8th and 9th inning. It's not the place for him. It's not the place for Carmen Mlodzinski. It's not, to be a starter. It's just absurd. They're not capable. They've proven, this isn't short little stretches. They've proven over seasons now and over months' time and over many at bats and many innings pitched that they're not capable of doing it. I can't get mad at them. Again, if the Pirates offer me $5 million next year to play left field, I'm taking the job.
Yeah,
I suck.
I'll take a league minimum. I'll take league minimum to hit like Tommy Pham,
and I'll carry my own bags. Right now.
You mentioned Austin Hayes, and several comments have also mentioned Austin Hayes, and so I was doing this research, and so combined on the season, Tommy Pham and Adam Frazier, the two Ben Cherington offensive free agents, I'm not going to even include Horowitz in this because he hasn't really gotten a chance.
Right.
Their combined OPS is 1,063. So, like, if you combine those two players, you get like a nice OPS. Austin Hayes, who signed for about the same price, has a 988 OPS. He's
It
batting
was available,
330.
right? It was
He was
available.
he was available for cheap. No one wanted him. He got 3 hits tonight, 2 RBIs, scored a run. And it's like, I think that is just kind of a perfect example of what Ben Cherington is doing with this team. He has consistently shown an inability to find the talent that is going to win you baseball games. And I know he's been fine, but honestly, I'm also going to call it IKF here too, because IKF is not hitting situationally, which is kind of his entire job as like a single slot merchant.
Right.
And he can't even make basic relay throws home. Like Mitch Keller pitched really well today, and I don't even think he deserved to give up a single run. He gives up
Right.
2 runs, one of them earned. But Ellie De La Cruz is dead to rights in that first inning if IKF makes even a basic, normal throw home.
Relay. Right. Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting here like all the players that Ben Cherington has stuck his cap under over the last several years, Colin Holderman, Brian De La Cruz, IKF, Adam Frazier, Tommy Pham, they don't work.
Right.
When do
What's
you start doing
amazing,
something
right?
different?
What's amazing is that he looked at both Tommy Pham and Austin Hayes
Mhm.
and chose Tommy Pham. Right. I mean that should tell you anything. Okay, that's not we're not talking about looking at a triple A or a double A prospect and projecting. We're looking at what these guys have done over, say, the past 3 years. I have not done it. I venture to say, if you compare the numbers over the past 3 years, that Austin Hayes have been better. I think his career batting average is something like 264. I said Tommy Pham hasn't had a good season since 2019.
Mhm.
What do your internal projections tell you? Your internal projections are off. They're not wrong. You're not carrying the 3, or you have a decimal point in the wrong place, or something. Something is amiss with your internal projections, because they keep projecting the Tommy Phams and Rowdy Telez's and on and on and on, the IKFs, the Brian De La Cruzes. You're right. I mean, he can't identify major league hitters.
Mhm.
Forget. I mean, as we know, he can't find them in the draft and develop them, acquire them in trades. But I mean, his prospect trades type thing. But he can't. He can't tell who's better, Shohei Ohtani or Adam Frazier. Right? Like, he's at a
Mhm.
loss. It's just it's stunning that I mean, again, of all the outfielders that were available, that we ended up with Tommy Pham. And basically, we waited till every single one was gone, and then made our big move. So um, it is just, yeah. I mean, again, I'm sorry for my repetitive redundancy over and over again, but that's what this is.
Well, it's 3 runs in the last 27 innings of baseball. It is 25 runs in the last 12 games. It is just an inexcusable offense. And again, like the guys you signed aren't even doing the basic things right. Like Tommy Pham is dropping balls in the outfield. Like again, I'm going to Mitch Keller, really, really good stuff today. Maybe he gave up a cut. I mean, we can talk about Mitch Keller now, but
Yeah.
like really good stuff today from Mitch. Sure, he gives up some extra base hits. Does a really great job of battling and stranding runners. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 5
I think
Ks,
he could
1
have gone
walk. Like,
7. I think he could have gone
yeah,
7, and I absolutely wish he would have, because then you could have had Ferguson in the 8th, and you might have been able to skip some of, at least, the Colin Holderman part of the debacle.
yeah.
Not that it
Well,
mattered, because once the Reds scored that insurmountable second run, right, the game, as we know, is over, because we can't hit.
mm. Well, and it's just so frustrating because Keller has had a 3.17 ERA in his last 8 starts.
Yeah.
You want to guess how many we've won? Just take a guess.
One.
We have won 1 single Mitch Keller start. Yeah.
Yeah.
We won the Marlins game.
Yeah.
But like he keeps pitching. At least he's not even like he's not. I won't even say he's pitching elite because he's not. He's not an elite
No.
pitcher. But like he deserves so much better. I mean, if you're talking about a team that is trying to compete and your 2 best pitchers, you're combining to be 4 and 14.
Right.
in their starts. What are we doing here?
And they're
Like,
pitching well. I mean, they're pitching well enough to win. Mitch Keller could easily, on another team, Mitch Keller could easily have 5 or 6 wins.
yeah.
Skeens could be, 7 or 8. I mean, he has pitched so well.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, oh God, they're boring to watch.
That might be the
They're,
worst part of it. Like,
right.
obviously they're bad. They're atrocious. Like, this is a terrible, terrible team. Like, no mistakes about it, but they're boring.
Yeah.
They are so boring to watch. There aren't even like exciting position players. Like, if you go down this list, Solak, Pham, IKF, Triolo, Horwitz, Hayes, who was exciting to watch?
Yeah.
Alexander Canario might be the most exciting player
Right.
to
It's
watch
Cruz
in
and
this lineup.
Canario, right? The only ones that kind of seem to have a little juice right now. And tip of the cap to Cherington there, Canario. I mean, it took getting him some playing time, but he's having a nice May. Hopefully, it's sustainable, and at least he's getting the bulk of the playing time. But we find easy ways to keep getting Tommy Pham back in there.
Yeah, and like people have said this on Twitter, and I generally agree. Like Canario is a guy that you needed to have in the organization 2 years ago. Getting at bats, developing this way in the majors 2 years ago when you weren't trying to win.
Yeah.
Him
No.
and Valdez are guys like who should be getting every day at bats in a lineup that shouldn't be competing.
Right.
But this is
No,
not the
that's
team for
exactly
them.
right. They
Like,
they're the guys you're supposed to onboard in year 3 of a
mhm,
rebuild, right?
yeah,
So then you've brought a couple guys in from other organizations. Your draft picks are coming along, and by now your Nick Gonzalez should be an all-star and competing for batting titles, and Henry Davis should be leading the league in home runs, and and no, not anything close to that.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, your big trade acquisition at the deadline is supposed to be better than Brian De La Cruz. And
Mhm.
I'll pat you on the back. You were trashing that move from the start, talking about all he's going to do is ground into double plays to third base. And
I was
that
really
was
hoping I was wrong.
yeah. Of course you were. Of course we all were hoping you were wrong. But he had a 298 on base percentage when we got him, and that's like
Mhm.
right around his career mark. I mean, you know. I mean, that's it. I don't have the internal analytics that Ben Cherington does. I don't spend too much time on Fangraphs and Baseball Reference and all that, but I can look at the back of a baseball card and say, "Oh, this guy has sucked his whole career. How do I think he's going to lead us to the playoffs?" I mean,
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, it's not that hard. Yeah, I don't understand. I'm befuddled, and
Mhm.
I mean, again, your guy Shelty, he did hit things to earn his firing, but it's just a crime that his boss wasn't fired at first or
Yeah.
along with him, right? I mean, that's just,
I mean,
it's just
I'm not gonna. The other guy's like, I could be that guy and start like railing on Don Kelly, but like, what the heck is Don Kelly supposed to do, man?
and Don
Like,
Kelly's got the same problem that you always, said that Shelton had. I mean, right? I
yeah.
mean,
I mean, like,
his last 4 hitters are are who's the last 4 tonight? You got
we got
Solak, Pham,
IKF and
IKF,
Triolo.
and Triolo, right?
Yeah.
So your
But I
leadoff
mean, to
hitter
be
is
fair,
Brian Hayes. Yeah.
those bottom four did get more hits than our top two did tonight.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, and again, that the problem is that it's not like Brian Hayes is killing it. It's Kutch isn't killing it. It's Joey Bart hit a
Yeah.
double tonight. I was very happy to see that because he has been a singles machine for most of the season.
Mhm.
So that was good. It was a well hit, well struck. It was not a fluke. It wasn't bouncing around in the corner or whatever. He hit it. He hit the ball pretty hard tonight. But yeah, Mitch Keller. Yeah, I mean, Mitch Keller pitched well. He pitched very well. For most of the season, he's had a couple bad starts. He pitched well against the Reds, which he's had terrible marks against them in his career.
Mhm.
He has. I mean, he's done everything that we could ask of him. Been much more consistent than he has been in the past. He said
Mhm.
like last 8 starts, his ERA is 3.18, and we haven't, I don't think won it, or we've won one. And it's, we're not even competitive in the games. I mean, it's not like, gosh, we just, we lost that 5-4, no, or 7-6. No.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
we score a run.
I mean, Keller gets his ERA down to 3.88. I think everyone here, if you told us that like Keller was going to be at this point late May, 3.88 ERA, giving you the consistent innings that he has given you all throughout the year, I think everyone would have been pretty content with it. I know a lot of people aren't very happy with the fact that he's being paid like a 2015 $20 million a year. But I mean, and I keep seeing this stuff about Trey Keller, but where are you going to replace what Keller's doing? Where are you going to like? Where would you go and find this level of production where he's going to give you that 170 to 200 innings, this high three, low four ERA? Like it's not that easy to replace.
No, and it's not for this team, right? The
Mhm.
Jared Jones news, and Jared Jones was never going to give you those kind of innings anyway. But now you've lost Jared Jones. Again, when Bubba comes up, Bubba's a 5 inning pitcher. I mean, he hasn't gone over 5 innings yet in AAA, and he's
Yeah,
not.
that might be. I think they're doing that. They're trying to save at least some bullets for the majors. I don't know
No,
if that's an
but look how
indictment on
many
him.
pitches he throws through the 5 innings in the
That's
fourth
fair.
third.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? It's he's not getting out of there in 60 pitches, and then they're saying, okay, let's get out because we got to save him for July in Pittsburgh. I mean,
Mhm.
he throws a lot of, he's not going to give a lot of innings. He's certainly not going to give you Mitch Keller innings at this point, and you wouldn't expect that. That would be an unfair expectation. He has not built up to that. Where Keller is in his career, he's a guy that can give you 7 or 8. Um, so yeah, I mean, I Bailey Falter, you can't really count on for that.
No,
Heaney,
Heaney, maybe.
maybe, but I mean, Heaney's gone at the deadline, right? So he's not going to give
Yeah.
you 170 innings this year because he's only going to pitch through the end of July. Um, Majinski certainly can't do it, and so yeah. So I mean, there is when or if they trade Keller. Now, believe me, if they went and traded Keller for a bona fide, major league bat, I could probably accept it, but it would create a problem in that rotation.
I
Um,
just with how afraid teams are of money and just taking on deals like that, I don't know who is offering that for Keller. So it's kind of like a catch
oh,
22 where
oh,
like
I agree. I
you're not
agree.
gonna get what you need for Mitch Keller. I would
Oh,
keep him
and
around like
especially
because
with Ben Cherington making the trade.
oh yeah, like I wouldn't like if I'm Bob Nutting, obviously I would be spending money, but like if I'm Bob Nutting, I'm not letting Ben touch anyone at the deadline. If we're not firing him before the end of the season, Ben's not allowed to touch anyone besides the rentals. That's the only thing you can trade because you
Yeah,
cannot trust
you
this
you
guy.
no, you can't let this guy trade Ashcraft and Burrows. Or God forbid Bubba. I don't think anybody would trade Bubba, but you can't you can't let him trade that. He's going to bring back Brian De La Cruz. He's going to bring in IKF. He's going to get you another Triolo, or no, because won't get. He doesn't acquire good defensive players either. He's going to get you another guy that will play at shortstop that can't play shortstop.
Mhm,
He'll get you another guy to play in left field that's a second baseman or something, ridiculous that can't hit. So yeah, I mean,
mhm.
that's the problem with this season is like even giving up on it. We're not bringing up Tamar or Connor. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So we
Mhm.
bring up Bubba, in June after we get past the Super Two or something along those lines. I know a lot of people are speculating it'll be this week. I hope it's this week. I hope it's this week. I'm here in Pittsburgh. I would love to go to Bubba's first start. Um,
Yeah, that'd be great. Can
yeah,
you
yeah.
imagine
So,
could you imagine Dave the Tailgates,
wouldn't that be
Bubba's
awesome?
debut? That'd be
Yeah,
fantastic.
that'd be great.
I mean,
Something to
it
give us to celebrate at the tailgate. Something to
yeah.
be.
I really just think it's depressing that the season has gone so badly that we're talking about trading Keller. Like, obviously, this was always going to be a thing when his contract got up to 20 million a year. It's a lot for this team to take on. But man, it's just don't want to trade Mitch Keller. He's just been so dependable over the years. I really like him. I
And
want
he
to
signed
cheer
to a
for
good
good.
contract.
Yeah,
He signed to a good contract, right? I mean, we're never going to
yeah,
spend more than that to get a pitcher,
yeah.
and he's a good, solid pitcher. I mean, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. And like I said, it's part of the problem. It's like, we can say get rid of Pham, Frazier, some of these other guys, and turn it over to the kids, but there are no kids. Nick York is the
Yeah.
only guy really of any interest at this point. Um, I mean,
Yeah, I
that
don't know,
that's
man.
it. That's it. I mean, if Nick York comes up and plays like an all-star, he's not going to have that much of an impact, right?
No, no.
I mean, again, if Reynolds and Cruz could get going, if, it's always the problem. The more ifs you have, the less likely you are to acquire wins, and we've got a lot of ifs.
We're the Justin Herbert of of baseball teams. Uh,
Yeah,
well,
but
we
like,
talked
at
a lot
least
about.
he puts up spectacular
Yeah, I was gonna
numbers,
say,
and then I
it's not
mean,
entirely fair to Justin Herbert. I just like the if joke.
yeah.
So we did have a bullpen after Keller. So Keller exits after 6. Caleb Ferguson comes in, really solid, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. He's really struggled lately. I mean, I think it was clear he was never going to be like Mr. Elite All-Star 8th inning man, but he did a really good job bouncing back. And then, well, uh, Tweedledee and Tweedledum come into the game and just
I don't
blast
want
the
to be
game.
too hard on Bednar, because Bednar has pitched pretty well. He had a bad outing.
I know.
Again, my biggest problem with Bednar is where we're pitching him. I just don't feel comfortable with him in the later innings of a close game. Like let's,
Mhm,
but you know, I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass, but Holderman's just been downright awful.
mhm.
And when when you're bringing in Holderman to put the fire, I'm sorry, that's bad managing. And I know he's left with few options, but I just
Mhm.
think that's a bad call.
Ye
Um,
I
Holderman needs to be the first pitcher after Majinski. Right?
even
He needs to come in the fourth inning.
I think it's done. I think it's time. I think you just gotta cut the bait. I'm sorry.
No,
Holderman, there's all the chances in the world that he finds success at another team. He has good stuff. This happens all the time. I'm sure when he's off this team, some other team's gonna pick him up and he's gonna look really good. But for whatever the reason is, he's not worked out here. And
yeah,
he we just need to cut bait. Like there's nothing to salvage here. He can't he's given up runs in 9 of his 14 appearances this year. It is so
I'm
bad.
pretty sure that's bad for a relief pitcher. That's
Yeah,
bad for a starter. I mean, yeah. But you could send him to AAA. Jim points out he's got three options left.
I
You,
genuinely
you
don't
know,
care. I
eh,
genuinely don't care.
I'm saying from their point of view. Like, of course, what we would do is get rid of him and move on. At
Yeah,
some point, you just get to a point of no return with a player. It's like, we have no faith. We can't continue to see you being run out there. But again, if the Pirates want to talk about his great stuff and we want to get him back right, you can send him to AAA. You can send him to AAA and let him pitch 2 months and see if he
I
can
guess so.
sort it out. You know,
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, send him to Indy. I'm at the point where I would not be upset if this is the last time we ever see Holderman in a Pirates jersey. It's
yeah.
just it's so
No, no,
bad.
no.
And
I will cry no tears. But
yeah.
I mean, but I'll be perfectly happy too if they send him to AAA, and and every once in a while it'll pop up on my Twitter timeline that Holderman's got 7 consecutive innings without giving up a run. Fine. It's fine. The madness to me is again pitching him, and then it's in the eighth and ninth inning of close games. I mean, by the time it got to the ninth, it wasn't close anymore. But
Mhm.
when he and Bednar got to it, it was a close game, and yeah, Pirates are
I
winning
mean,
seven
like,
and Keller
it's
stars.
I mean, I was told only a specific manager would, uh, pitch Bednar and Holderman in high leverage, but, what do I know?
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
yeah. This gets right back to my point: is who's really managing this team?
I
I
genuinely do believe that front office management has a say in, in who gets the high leverage situations. I don't know how much. Like I'm sure Kelly's still allowed to make in-game decisions, but I'm almost positive he has like a list of guys he's supposed to go to,
Yeah,
and they make
I
that
think
decision
that. I've
together.
always thought that. I put so much of this on Ben Cherington.
Mhm.
There is, in no logical world does he still have his job. Um, I
No, he
mean,
needs to be
again,
gone.
I could see some other team hiring him and saying, "Yeah, we want you to scout and develop pitching." You don't, no, no, no. You're not even allowed to look at a shortstop or a center fielder. You're just, you can't do that. You've proven that you can't do that. But you have developed, you have identified, and really, does he get credit for Paul Skeens? Really? I
No,
mean, kind of. I mean, Paul Skeens is, came down from Mount Olympus,
yeah.
and we got lucky. So Jared
I mean,
Jones. Jared
I
Jones
guess
had
you
two
could
good months in
always
the major leagues.
I guess you could always imagine just how bad things would be if we had Dylan Cruz instead. But
Yeah,
I well,
yeah.
I guess one more thing I want to talk about with this game is just this game's like for such a boring game because this team is boring. This game had so many just like bad baseball plays. I even made a list. So you have Tommy Pham
Because
not
you were
dropping.
bored. What else were you gonna do?
Yeah, Tommy Pham dropping a fly ball leads to a run. IKF can't make a basic relay throw with his noodle arm. Run scores. Joey Bart can't handle
Yeah,
a ball in the dirt like
yeah,
twice in the
yeah.
late innings. He just lets like even in a close game, he's letting these balls go to the go to the backstop and like letting runners advance. Like that certainly didn't help Bednar. Um, Brian Hayes can't run out a single. Like Brian Hayes is jogging at the first base, and so Gavin Lux is able to make a big diving play, and just no hits with runners in scoring position. This was such a bad game.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it's the frustrating thing, or one of the many frustrating. But this team is bad, just about in it is. It's bad in every phase of the game, right? They don't do things fundamentally well. They don't run the bases well. They don't field the position well. They don't throw the ball well. They do have some good pitching. But right now, it doesn't. I mean, our catching defense is terrible. Um, And I guess I guess our chickens have come home to us for all that complaining about Austin Hedges and some of these guys, these defensive catchers they brought in, and bring me back delay for crying out loud. Um,
Yeah.
he occasionally, would get a hit and and he handled it. He caught the game well.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean I mean, like, the problem is, he makes a great trade. He trades Keller for Ellie De La Cruz. It's like, well, we still got 23 other problems, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that would be, we'd all be on board with that trade. Of course, it wouldn't happen, but there is no one fix to this team. It is a terrible, terrible team in every facet of the game. They're not fun to watch.
No.
And they're maddening. I've never, and I don't even like saying this. I mean, God, I'm 107 years old, and I've been watching this team my whole life. It is the single most constant strand, running through my own personal timeline, and I'm getting apathetic. I'm
Same. Yeah. I mean, I used to watch 100 plus games every single season. This season's just been so hard. Um, I mean, I don't know about you, but maybe it's because I was wearing a Dave Parker jersey to the Philly stadium, but everyone should know that Philly fans have a reputation of being kind of mean to opposing fans. And I got a couple of heckles, I did, but I just got sympathy for the most part from Philly fans this weekend.
Oh, same thing. I was there Sunday, and I was in, like, there were Pirate fans throughout the stadium. In my section, there were none. It was
Mm,
all Phillies fans, and they were all just like, "Oh, dude," Like, again, most of them are also Sixers fans, so they can
yeah.
relate. We bonded a little, on that, but it
Mhm.
it, it, it was just like, man, that's just like, they felt sorry for me. They were being, they were
Yeah.
being sympathetic.
That's the worst part, man. Like I hate the sympathy.
Yeah. Well, you don't remember when the Phillies. It was. I mean, I know they called last weekend rivalry weekend, and like we haven't been a rival of the Phillies, but when I was a kid, the Phillies were my most hated rival because
Mhm,
like especially in like the wheelhouse of my baseball fandom starting, it seemed like the Pirates or the Phillies won the East each year. And I know
mhm,
that was true for like 3 or 4, maybe 5 years in a row. And we played them 19 times a year. I mean, it was just, we had that famous
mhm,
game where we were up 10-0, and Jim Rooker said, if we lose this game, I'll walk back to Pittsburgh. And then we lost like 11-10 or something like that. And he did a
mhm.
charity walk. It was kind of funny. But I mean, just, you know, I, I can remember so many games against the Phillies that were so important. It seemed so important. Now, of course, since we joined the National League Central and we play them 7 times a year, who cares? They're not really a rival anymore. But man, they used to
They
be.
they should be a rival though, like, they
No,
should
they
be, like,
should.
it should be, like, but, like, just like the Reds used to be a big rival, we used to get into huge fist fights with them, and
Yeah.
now there's no energy, there's
But but
no
but you yeah. How can it be a rivalry when one team loses all the time?
mhm,
Um, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not a threat to anybody. Fan bases are mad at their team if they lose a series to the Pirates, right? They're disgusted. They're not because they hate us as rivals. It's like, oh, you lost it. Oh, how do you know? I mean, when they look at us on the schedule, they're like, oh yeah, there's 2 wins at least. Good chance at a sweep. And so yeah,
mhm,
we're not a rival. We're a punching bag. We're a homecoming game.
yeah. Well, Doug, we've been talking about this terrible team for 37 minutes. I think it's time for us to get out of here. What about
Yes.
you?
I apologize to the chat for going on too long.
Oh, it's
I mean,
okay. It's
yeah,
my own. I mean, I
I,
mean, listen, I
yeah,
I was long-winded too. That
yeah,
was a group effort tonight.
yeah.
Uh,
These poor people had to watch the game and then listen to us rehash just an
uh,
awful game.
yeah. Well, maybe next time we'll sneak in Neil and Doug go to the movies, but not this time.
If
Before
anyone,
we
yeah,
go, I just want to
exactly.
shout out Todd for becoming the newest member. Thank you so much.
Welcome,
Really
Todd.
appreciate it. Welcome. But besides that, I mean, the Pirates are back tomorrow. I believe it's
Yes,
another 6 o'clock game, a
I will
6:40
be at
game.
that. I am going to that game.
It is Bailey Falter versus Nick Martinez.
Yeah.
So please tune in. Hopefully, we'll be giving out sandwiches that day. Hopefully, we'll get. Please, we need some sandwiches. It's been
I mean,
ages.
we're kind of due, right? What have we lost now?
Yeah,
4 in a row, 5 in a row. I
yeah.
can't even keep up with the losing streaks anymore. But I
Well,
mean, again, you got to win 2 or 3 out of every 10. So there's a
I
chance
got
that some weird,
technically.
yeah,
Uh,
there's a chance that some weird thing could happen, and we could string together 4 infield singles to produce a run or two.
well, Bailey Falter pitches well at home,
It's
so
very
I'm
true.
I'm 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 somewhat hopeful, but
Yeah,
we'll see. But
I'm
we're gonna get
going. I'll
out of
be
here.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, see if we can find Doug on the broadcast.
yeah.
Uh, but
Hiding my
have a good
face
day,
and
everyone.
shame. Yeah,
Good, you have a paper bag.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the irates, the irates.
Yeah. But have a good night, everyone. I'll see
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Thank you, beautiful
And
people, as
yeah, thank you,
our guy Ty
everyone.
would say. All right.
And if we're gonna go, Tyler, peace out, Girl Scouts.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.